Hello folks, welcome to NetCruiser RC. Today I just want to go over a new RC that I got around Christmas time and haven't even broken the seal on it yet. I actually ordered this for Thanksgiving, but it took a long time to come in. Redcat Camo X4. Okay, breaking the seal on the Redcat. It's quite an interesting design actually. We should go over it a little bit before I open it because value for money looks pretty good for what you get. It's a four-wheel drive vehicle, independent front suspension, solid rear axle rear suspension with a cage design, brushless motor. Should be a pretty fun little rig. Okay. Radio control. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go over the stats you get with this thing. It does look pretty awesome. I do like the look of it. It's kind of a, I don't know how you explain it. It's not a desert racer. It's more of a, it's almost like a side-by-side when you look at it, but it's big. It's 10th scale. So you get a 540 sized 3,300 brushless motor, forward reverse, four-wheel drive, 60 amp waterproof ESC, 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. I have not had one of these before. I wonder why does it have a socket on it on the back? That's interesting. We'll take a look at that. Got standard bind buttons, throttle reverse channels and trimming, and the on button is under this little hatch. Feels pretty good. The rubber on the wheel is actually quite nice. And you get some style points here for having, there's a caliper in behind, but actually the standout part is the rubber they put on this wheel. It's surprisingly good. I'll have to look in the manual to find out what that little port is for. Maybe they have it set up so you could recharge, but I doubt it. Alright, and here is the Redcat Camo X4. You can also get this as a truck version. I forget what that's called, but it's the same chassis, but they also have it available as a short course truck. Now, I thought this was a hinged body, but it's not. So you take out the four body clips and we will take a look under the hood. These tires are quite large. They seem larger than short course wheel. Yeah, they're bigger. Definitely does seem to have 2.2 style tires or bigger. And it's not like a short course style, so it is like an actual crawler tire, so it's the same sidewall on the inside as the outside. Yeah, it is. Tread pattern looks pretty good. Let's see how it does it on the trails. Redcat Camo X4 versus the Tenacity DB Pro. The Redcat's a little bit bigger and bigger tires. Also, this thing's going to handle completely different because check out the chassis where you've got a 4-link solid rear axle rear end and the front is independent. So this should be pretty cool. This is, you know, I bought that Axial Wraith last year and I really didn't like how the Wraith handled. It was really, really twisty. I mean, I should have expected it, I guess, but I think that I will enjoy the driving dynamics of this more. I hope so. Yeah, it's a solid locked rear axle. So you got pause drive and then the front should be open diff. So you get an open front end, locked rear end, and then center drive seems like center seems very stiff. If it's not locked, it has a very tight slipper engagement. So I'll have to look at that as well. The motor you get, it's just a little 3300 motor and a 60 amp ESC. It looks like it's fairly lightweight 10th scale electronics, but I think the setup is pretty cool. It's got this raised, elevated battery tray. I don't know, I'm interested to see what it's like. Let me pull the camera in closer so we can get some details here. Plastic telescoping drive shafts, but the end yokes are metal, so that's nice. And the 4-link suspension is all plastic, but that should hold up okay. Fairly flat. Well, you got this little hump here. You do have a diff hump. Or I guess it's a slipper. It certainly looks like a slipper. Yeah, it's so thin. It's got to be a slipper clutch in there. I'd have to pull that off, take a look later. The center axles are metal. And the front axles are metal. All the adjustment tie rods are metal. Got the Hexfly servo, 15S servo system. The WP10BL60 ready to run brushless speed control. Redcat branded motor. Shocks. The shocks are... Is that metal? Yeah, the shock bodies are aluminum. That's impressive. So you get metal bodied shocks, plastic caps, although dampening seems like it could be a little bit better. And check out the sways you get, where this was something that you didn't get on the Axial Wraith that I felt was needed, is some sort of a sway system. So it should be pretty good, as it's now got a solid rear axle, 4 links, but it also has sways. Here's that solid rear axle. Now there is some concern about this diff that's in here, being that it's locked. Apparently it is easy to break. At least it was in the first batch units. I'm hoping that I waited so long to get this that any issues with that have been resolved. So we'll see how this axle holds up. But at first glance, I do like how it looks. It seems to be pretty well built. So time will tell what the weak points are in this guy. So I decided to get this instead of the Kyosho Rampage. Value for money, and it's 4-wheel drive. I am a big fan of 4-wheel drive vehicles. I do prefer them over 2-wheel drive vehicles, so I thought this would be a pretty good value option to get into some sort of a rock racer style truck and just have something that's a pretty good platform to mod around with and have some fun with. So we'll get some running footage of this later on for you, but overall I just wanted to show you that I got this over the holiday season, and I'll start playing with it soon. So I'll do my typical prep stuff. I will poke holes in the tires. I will maybe reinforce, well no, you don't have to reinforce the body, because let's check it out, it's all caged. I might add a little bit of tape protection just around some of the edges, but overall it doesn't look like you have to do much. This is fairly heavy because it has a full cage on the inside. So Lexan shell outside, full interior, although no sticker details for the interior trim. Okay, here's a test. Does the helmet turn? It does! So you can have your driver looking out the side. Let's take a quick look at the manuals and other accessories that you get. Just looking at some of this extra material that you get with the vehicle, and I spoke too soon about the dashboard not having any details. They do give you a sticker sheet so you can add in a bit more detail into your interior. A fuel cell for the rear. Looks like some pretty good things. No Redcat stickers. It's all just little trim bits for the body and the interior. You do get a programming and information cards for the electronic speed control. Fairly generic piece of paper that covers all of the models of this brand, but here is the one that comes with the kit. 60 amp, 390 amp peak. Here's the motor sizes that you can run. 5 volts for the fan. Built-in BEC is a 6 volt 3 amp BEC. Then we've got a bit more information here about the motors. So the motor that comes in this one is the 3300 kV. 3300 kV. Still won't see it listed. And then we have the instruction manual. Also, we got these parts, which I'm not entirely sure what these are. I do not know what that is for. And this one we just get an antenna whip and a bind plug. So they are saying that the maximum LiPo capacity in this is 2S LiPo. So I wonder why. 3300 kV, you would think it might be able to run 3S as well, but I guess it's just the ESC can't handle it. And does it say what that little port does on the transmitter? It does not. So it does not mention what that does, but here's all about the radio system and how you can program it. This speed control, the 10BL60, does say that it can support 3S LiPo. It's right on the edge of being able to support 3S, I do believe. Here's how to program your endpoints, which I will do before the first drive. So to set your neutral point, your full throttle, and full reverse. This is a very good thing to do. Any new RC, make sure you do this. For some reason, when they build them out of the factory, they never take the time to actually calibrate the radios properly. So go through that step. As well as check that your actual steering throw and stuff is ideal. Here's the default modes for the ESC. Maximum brake force is currently set 75% of the box. That's pretty good. And low voltage cutoff at 3.2. It's got a level 3 punch. forward, reverse, and brake. All looks pretty good. And here's how to program the speed control. Overall, this book seems to be pretty good, telling me everything I need to know about how to program the electronics. And then we get into all of the exploded parts diagrams and how to fix the vehicle if we ever need to. That's a pretty good book. There's all the spare parts you can get. And optional parts. Aluminum front bumper, aluminum lower links, aluminum upper links, aluminum mounts, lots of aluminum shock towers, aluminum extension rods, aluminum steering knuckles, aluminum C-hubs, aluminum motor mount. Wow, you could really bling this thing out with aluminum. Good to see that they've supported it with upgrades. Awesome. Some angles it looks really awkward, but others it looks pretty cool. Alrighty guys, so that's the Redcat Camo X4. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Unboxing overview. Pretty cool looking rig. I'm curious to drive it and see what it's like, so we'll get some running footage soon. It is winter time. There is a winter storm blowing in. It looks like it's going to be a pretty bad one with a lot of freezing rain, so it might be a little while before I can get running footage of this out for you, but I'll do my best. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Pretty fun looking machine. Get out there, race some rocks.